Hi guys, it's Reneé. How are you? Welcome back to the second part of my spring fragrances that I would like to share with you guys. Again, like a lot of these things will also work for summer, but given that it's fairly cool currently where I am, these are the ones that I am breaking out because I do believe that they work just as well in the cool of early spring and will transition well into the heat of late spring into summer. So let's get started. And we'll get started with some of the clones. Listen, I love a good clone house. I don't particularly care. Most of the houses that I have here do also make their own fragrances, so they're not just, you know, a fragrance house that is built on copying other fragrances. They have their own fragrances that they make, but they also have things that are thought to be clones of other fragrances. So we will start with this one by Latafa, and this is called Oud for Glory. We all know this, we all love this. This is a clone of Initio Privé Oud for Greatness, and this is amazing. This is sweet, oudy. There's a bit of saffron and a little bit of spice in it. Its sillage is enormous. Its projection is enormous. And Malachi, as is the longevity. I wore this the other day. My friend came and swooped me up. She could smell me before I got in her truck, and then I saw her a couple of days later when I went to work out with her, and she said, "Hey, my truck still smells like you. What is it that you're wearing? Because I need to buy it." And it was this, Latafa's Oud for Glory. I've smelled Initio's Oud for Greatness. This is pretty much a spot-on dupe with it, you know, the small amounts of difference in the fragrance between the clone and the original that no one is really going to care. So I'm glad that I got this. I still potentially want to pick up Oud for Greatness because I do want to support Initio, and they've got a couple of others that I would like to buy, but you know, I'm out here rocking this for now. That is one of the things that I'm looking forward to wearing for the spring and the summer. Moving on, we will start with these that I have from Haramain. I have the entirety of their Junoon series, and I think these are perfect for spring and summer, and especially if you want something that is fairly safe and innocuous, that's not just going to be choking folks out, and that you can wear in crowded places, as well as like safe spaces like offices and whatnot. I wear these to work because they're fairly innocuous. We will start with the original, which is just Junoon. You can see it has this clear glass. You can see the color of the juice. This is powder, but it's not like it's not baby powder, but it is a fairly lipsticky, powdery fragrance. It lasts forever. It projects a lot, and the sillage is amazing. Like, people will smell your trail as you've walked past, but it's not something that I find that is that people object to as well. You know, I've gotten a lot of compliments on it, both from my co-workers and other people that I interact with. There is a hint of like citrus at the beginning, and there's something fairly creamy as well, and musky a little bit here, but the overwhelming vibe of this is just like powdery sweetness. Next up would be Junoon Rose, and this is heliotrope, which is kind of almondy smelling, a little bit of florals, some creaminess, and some powder. I have heard that this has been compared to Amouage. Is it Blossom Love? I think it's Blossom Love, the one in the pink bottle. I don't have it. I'm not that interested in getting it. I love this for what it is, but if this is what that smells like, then I'm not gonna pay $350 for an Amouage fragrance that smells like that, you know? That's not the type of Amouage that I love. But I got this for itself, not because I thought that it was a clone. I This is my second favorite of the three. This also has a degree of powder to it, but is not quite as powdery as the original Junoon. Just to come back to this one I am through my research, it has been said to be a clone of Chanel's Tint de Neige, however you pronounce that. I don't know. I don't have that fragrance. This is so good, guys. And then the last of the Junoon series is Junoon Noir. Now, my problem with this, with all the bottles, like I'm not a fan of the bottles, but there is nothing dark about this fragrance. This is very much a misnomer in terms of what this juice actually is. And what this juice actually is powdery, sweet goodness. This is so creamy as well. This is my favorite of the three. God, this is so good. And it is, there's like a citrusy note up top that is just to die for. And if I'm remembering correctly, I do think that this is supposed to be a dupe for Xerjoff's Dama Bianca, which if that is what that smells like, then I want that. So this is good, guys. This is also all three of these actually are beautiful feminine scents, and are appropriate for year-round wear, but I do think that these are fragrances that would just bloom in the heat. Particularly in the heat, I think the powderiness would dissipate somewhat, and some of the more floral aspects that are present in all three of these fragrances would come forward. All right, moving on to the last, I'm sorry, let me do this one last Al Haramain. This is Amber Oud, the gold edition, and this is a clone for Xerjoff's Herba Pura. Now, I will say that I love Xerjoff, and I'm fine with getting Herba Pura, but like, I love this fragrance. I didn't know that this was a clone for something when I bought it. I just read the notes on this and I was like, yes, this sounds like something that's totally up my alley. This is fruity, woody, musky goodness. Oh, yes. And if you know anything about Al Haramain's fragrances, again, the fact that their longevity is everlasting is correct. This fact that their sillage and projection is enormous is again correct. Be easy with this fragrance. This is not a thing for you to overspray. You will choke people out. No lie. This is eternal, legit eternal. Be easy. I cannot wait to continue to wear this well into the summer. I think like when that heat comes up, this is gonna be amazing. It is very tropical and tart and sweet and musky and woody and just so good, so good. All right, last up we have La Yuqawam, and this is a Jasmine Wisp, and this is from the house of Rasasi, a very popular Middle Eastern fragrance. This is a tropical vacation in a bottle. I don't know if you probably can't tell how much of this I've used, but I have used a lot of this and I am quite happy about this. I've sprayed this in the winter just to uplift my mood and to remind me that winter, while it feels like it's everlasting when I'm in the midst of it, is not necessarily so, and that I will get through it. I have seasonal affective disorder. We don't need to go into it, but this is one of those things that I use to lift my mood. I also have a very rare backup bottle of this. And I say rare because backup bottles are not a thing that I typically indulge in, mostly because I have so many perfumes that the chances of me ever like really finishing something is slim to none. So I have to really love something and not want to be without it for me to go ahead and pull the trigger on a backup bottle. And I have done so with this. This is Spring Ultimate Summer Vacation. Like if you ever go anywhere that is tropical, beachy, don't or you just want to uplift your mood, you know, bring the good vibes with you, don't be without this Jasmine Wisp. All right, moving on. I've got a couple here that are sexy. And now I don't typically subscribe to the vibe that fragrances are sexy, because I think there's so many other things about you. Like, fragrance is a part of the whole package, right? And if people don't find you to be necessarily that attractive, it doesn't matter what fragrance you wear, people aren't going to like it. You know, that's why I don't like a lot of these like panty dropper videos, fragrances that make guys go crazy or women go crazy, whatever. Like, a lot of times it is the outwardly attractive appearance of the person that then brings, you know, for people to notice your fragrance and like want to say something to quote unquote go crazy over it. I segue. These fragrances, however, I do find in my personal arsenal to be something that I consider to be like sexy and sophisticated. And we will start with the easiest going of them, and this is Versace Crystal Noir. This is sweet, sexy. There's a hint of coconut, but not like it's like a greenish coconut almost. Just good. Eternal. This is perfect spring summer wear. And it's pretty innocuous. I think that you can also, if you spray lightly, wear this to the office. But if you ever want anybody, this is also an all occasion type of fragrance. You could dress it up, you could dress it down. This could be, you know, white t-shirt, shorts, sandals, but your face is a little bit like you're made up, you've got a nice ponytail, your good jewels on. Like, this could be it. This could also be a black tie affair. And I mean, I have others that I think would probably be more appropriate, but my point is that this transitions to all occasions. But I love this in the spring and the summer. So good. This also comes with a body lotion and a shower gel, I think. So if you're into layering your fragrances along the same lines, this would be one of those that I would recommend, and you would just smell head to toe delicious. All right, next up, this is Hamsa by Swiss Arabian. Some of the cheapest, best money I have ever spent. Sorry, the top is really, really cheap and has since relocated to a better area, I guess. I don't know, it bounced, literally. Like, I dropped it somewhere because it just like fell off and I have no idea where it is. But this is honeyed white florals with a little bit of citrus and some musk when it dries down. This is gorgeous, gorgeous. And now, I will say, as I've said before in many occasions, that I am not a fan of a lot of white florals. White florals tend to be very heavy, very heady. They tend to give me headaches if done in a manner that I cannot tolerate. And this is like sort of bordering on that line, but the honeyed sweetness of this and the citrusy aspects that I think go through the good portion of the fragrance but sort of disappear in the dry down is what makes this very tolerable for me. But this is very sweet and sort of like you could get away with seductive on this, you know. It is a heady fragrance, but I can tolerate it. It will bloom in the heat. Beach, day party, tea party. I like high tea. I don't know if that's a colonization in me from, you know, from my Caribbean past, but like I like high tea, you know. So you could wear this to high tea. This is sundress with a nice hat and some heeled sandals. This is your white dress, but you know, with flats and like being cute and sexy. Like, this is I think it's a fairly casual slash semi-casual fragrance, but this is one not to be forgotten. This should be a part of your personal arsenal. All right. And last but certainly not least for my like, yo, I didn't know this could be sexy. This is La Nuit Tresor by Lancome. I don't know who doesn't know about this? Who does not know about this? And if you don't know about this, I don't know what to tell you, son. You should have been about this. This is sweet, sort of syrupy, but not terribly cloying, fruity, woody, a smidgen, not a lot. Kind of creamy, a little bit musky, ambery goodness. This is this fruity florals in here like really do the job. I don't know. This is one of my favorites by Lancome. Others by Lancome that I really enjoy: Oud Bouquet, Jasmine Marzipan, L'Autre Oud, and I really would love to get my hand on Oud Ambrose, but that one has been discontinued, and God, it's been a devil of a time trying to find it. I love Oud, so I want to get up in it, but like I can't find it. Anyways, let's back to this. Lancôme la Nuit Tresor. Get it in the summer, in the spring. This is going to bloom off your skin in a way that is just sexy. This is a heeled sandal, nice dress, long or short, something a little bit low cut. You know, it doesn't have to go all the way down to your belly button, but it can hint at a little bit of cleavage. Hair up so that he can, you know, maybe spray around your hair a little bit so that when you turn your head, it can drift. You know, pick up what I'm putting down. Do with it what you will. But you need this in your life. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm done. I move on. Oh, wow. Don't do that. I think Sheree says that, and I love her. I'm not trying to bite off of her style. But I got a little bit deep in this La Nuit Tresor. You need this in your life. All right, now we have just 5 more to go. So let's start with my smallest bottle. This is Terence Hughes, and this is Slut. I object to the name. I understand that the point of the name is to be provocative, which it certainly is, but it's provocative in a way that kept me from really pursuing this fragrance very seriously. Eventually, I did go ahead and pick up this 10 ml decant because I was curious, and I will say that I am so glad that I did. This is essentially a honeyed, citrusy with a hint of like, there's something almost like tangy metallic in here that works super well. And it's almost an ambery, kind of musky fragrance. For something that calls itself something so provocative as Slut, this is kind of a tame fragrance. With that, but as tame as it is for something that is so overtly sexual, good catch. This is a wonder on my skin. It projects in a way that I was so surprised by. I'm talking about open space. We all have masks on and people are like, what are you wearing? It smells amazing. You smell so good. Slut. And I was ashamed of the name. It's like, am I a serious individual? Sometimes I can be, you know? But I'm gonna tell you that my fragrance's name is Slut. Like, what are we doing? Whatever. With that being said, I wanna try out Dirty Slut. I think that has some animalics and some patchouli in it, and I am interested. And I eventually want to pick up a full bottle of this because I do think it's worth a full bottle. It is delicious. I have been trying to conserve how much I spray out of this. I have an animalic. He has a fragrance called Animalics, which is a mixture of a different vegan animalic fragrances, scents rather, like castoreum, civet, dirty musk, and some other things. So I mixed the two to give me the need for that like deeper, more animalic tinge to this, and it works really well. I just wouldn't wear it wear it for yourself or wear it in open areas because the animalics base of this is heavy if you're gonna mix the two. All right, next up, These are some bangers, guys. These are some bangers. This is Kirke by Tiziana Terenzi. What is there to say about Kirke that has not been said by a bunch of other people in the fragrance community? If you love a tropical, fruity, musky fragrance, this is your job. This is your bang for your buck. And sorry guys, cat hair. This is the bang for the buck that you should go ahead and get, because this is available fairly cheaply on a lot of online discounters. But this is a fragrance that is utterly eternal in its longevity. It has excellent sillage. That scent trail is gonna be amazing for whoever is walking behind you. The projection is, again, enormous, and just the scent is great. It's so beautiful. Like, again, this is one of those that I smell when I want to be transported, particularly in the winter. This takes me to a nice tropical breeze, maybe somewhere in the Maldives, somewhere, you know, in the Indian Ocean. I'm not particular. It doesn't have to be the Maldives. It could be St. Charles. It could be a Reunion, you know. I'm not particular. It's somewhere tropical and beautiful, and I am on the beach by this beautiful clear water that is with an open-ended ticket. Number one right there. Like, Kirke. Before I get myself in trouble, imagining these things that or places that I cannot go to because of the plague. All right. Next up is Dahab, and this is by Kajal. This is somewhat similar to Kirke, honestly. I would say between Kirke, Al Haramain Amber Oud Gold Edition, and Dahab, there is some redundancy. I don't think that the people are going to be enough into fragrances to really like go, oh, well, you know, in Dahab, the predominant notes are green apple and a little bit of citrus with some passion fruit, versus in Kirke, this is more of a passion fruit kind of tart forward. And in Amber Oud Gold Edition, it's more melons and pineapples, with a little bit of apples and some passion fruit. You know, no one outside of people who are deeply into fragrances are going to pick up those nuances. What they will tell you is that all of these three smell very similar. They give off the same type of vibe. This is very smooth, very sophisticated. It is easy. The blend on these things are amazing. So you can see the difference in quality. See the difference? No, you can't. You can smell and feel the difference in quality here. And, you know, as per se with the Amber Oud Gold Edition, this is kind of screechy, and not in a bad way. It's just very loud. This is not that. The projection is a little bit low. However, I will say that the sillage, your trail, is pretty moderate, and the longevity is pretty long. But I sprayed it in the cap. Boys and girls, transformative, very lovely fragrance. I got it for a really good price, but I would say that I don't know that it would be the one that I would pay full price from the house. I'm thinking of others that I would prefer to try, like Lamar. There are a couple of the leather fragrances that I would like to get into, maybe sample before I buy. Yeah. Second to last, this is L'ambre de merveilles. This is your amber for the summer, your amber for the spring, your amber for the winter, your amber for the fall. This is your amber for the workplace, your amber for the beach. This is an all occasion, year round, just beautiful fragrance. This is a citrusy, balmy, slightly powdery, crowd pleasing amber. I can't think of anybody who would dislike this, you know, and I don't know, like, you would have to, like, let's talk about why you would dislike this fragrance. It is just lovely. It is just lovely. It's one of my favorite ambers. Side note, I am predisposed towards liking ambers, so this works out well for me. But this is a very safe, very beautiful, all occasion, all year round, gorgeous amber scent. And I wore this last year in the summer, which is when I picked it up. Baby, the way the balsams and the citrus in this bloom on your skin, it's also like really creamy. You need this in your life. If you love ambers, if you want something that is a little bit different than your typical like white florals, fruity, citrusy, aquatic based salty fragrances, go for this. This is just gorgeous. And last but not least, this is Oshun by Kajal rather, sorry. So many things. This one is Kajal. No, this is Kajal. This is Calaj. This is this is a Romanian, I think he is, or Bulgarian. I think he's Romania based fragrance house. The perfumer is Miguel Matos, who I do enjoy some of his works. I have another one by this brand that's called Love Toxin, which is like my absolute favorite from them. I don't know that this is available anymore. You could try on Lucky Scents to see if you can get it. But this fragrance is so amazing. This is also a year-round fragrance. I find this to be a very personal fragrance for me. The inspiration behind this fragrance is the Yoruba deity, which is called Oshun. She is a river goddess that represents all aspects and facets of women. She's honeyed. She is sweet, seductive, strong, determined, destructive. But she is everything that a woman should strive to be, Oshun. And this fragrance is beautiful. It is citrusy, zesty, spicy, sweet, and strong. The projection is moderate on here. I think the sillage is also pretty moderate. It plays a little close to your skin, but this is honeyed, citrusy brightness in a bottle. And then when it dries down, it is a little bit woody, a little bit musky, a little bit ambery, but that bright, zingy, citrusy aspects of it last fairly long on my skin. And I'm so glad that I picked this up. There's cinnamon in the beginning of this, which plays so interestingly with the citruses at the beginning and the black pepper, which I will say this was not love at first sniff for me, which prevented me from picking it up. But I sampled it, I played around with it, and after a while, I was like, why are you waiting on this? Like, you must get this before it sells out, because once it's sold out, it's gone. These are all like, these are true limited editions. They're not hanging around to play you into the scarcity politics that you snatch something up because it's like, oh, it's never going to come back. But then they bring it back, or it's around for a long time. Lucky Scents only has a limited amount of quantities of this. Once it's gone, it's gone. I think on his website, like, you can't even buy these anymore. So I'm so glad that I have a bottle of this. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. Those are part 2 of my scents that I would love to rock for the spring and the summer. I hope you have a good day. Bye.